Hey y'all, happy Friday. It is officially Fun Friday. Is this the last Friday in January already?
It is. It's the 31st.
Oh my goodness.
It's the 31st.
Hey y'all. It is January 31st, 2025, y'all. 2025. It's going down. It's going down. What you think?
It's going down.
Hey, Adam.
Valentine's Day coming up too.
Ooh, that's why we're talking about
topic.
marriage. I'm telling you right now, we love, don't we? Hey, Facebook.
We love love.
We love love. But guess what? Like this year, already, it seems like marriages. I want to talk about marriages today.
Most of my girlfriends are single, right?
They desire to be married, right?
They all decided, oh, this is good. Yeah, they desire to be married.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do. For the most part.
But you know what? Sometimes, people don't.
Do you?
Absolutely. I am equipped and I am ready. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm getting ready because I think it really takes a lot of courage and belief and strategy to make sure marriages work. So I cannot wait. I hope we get a lot of content today where people are jumping in. Are your phones on Do Not Disturb?
Look,
Probably not.
Y'all forgive me today. I had a troubling start. I'm trying to get my energy flowing again.
She trying.
It's y'all know it's coming.
It's
why,
coming.
Why think my head is cut off?
Well, come over a little bit.
I don't want to be all up under you like that.
That's true.
I
don't want you.
You gotta be
under
my
me.
boo.
That's true.
Look, we talk about marriage. I'm trying to get my boo to be up under me like that. Look.
Hey, thank you guys for joining in. Thank you on the TikTok.
Hey, Ronita.
Podcast page. We appreciate you guys. Please
Yes.
type in any comments today. Today we're talking about revival in marriage. And what does that really mean to you, Tina? What does that mean?
I gotta get married first.
Well, what is it? Well, I'm going to tell you what it means to me. I have encountered a lot of my friends are married. I have lots of friends that are still married, and they've been married for an extended period of time. But sometimes sparks are lost.
You know why?
Why?
Because both couples, both parties in it, let them die there. And let me tell you, I got a whole section of costumes. Now,
Stay focused. Stay
sorry.
focused.
I'm just saying, hey, Derek, you have to keep the spice in your marriage. And notice what I said, y'all. Now, hold on. Marriage.
Yeah, but how do you do that after 10, 20, 30 years? That's what I'm hoping some people will join in because
that's why I got costumes in my closet.
But it takes more than that. It takes more than that.
For some people.
Well, let's talk about it. Hey Scott, thank you for joining in. Today we are talking about how are people reviving their marriages after 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Good afternoon, guys. And I want some answers, guys. How do you keep it?
Okay, you know what I think it needs to happen?
What
does that, instead of that,
Hey guys, thanks
what
for
does
joining
that
in.
look like?
Yeah.
To men, to women. For some
it's
women,
different.
it's just, I want to cuddle.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Thank
you
you.
just come
Thank
in
you
and
for
say,
gifting.
hey,
We appreciate you
just
so
got
much.
the number 3.
Oh, thank you. Thank you guys so much.
I think Derek was on here. Renita, I know is it Renita? Renita Janae, she's married.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
but
the gifts
oh my
today.
God, yes we do. So how do you? I think it comes with keep the romance alive. This is what they say. I remember what they say. Whatever you need to get them, you need to continue to do it to keep.
Is that sustainable for 10, 15, or 20 years to do it?
I think it is.
Men, can you join in? Is that sustainable? What you did to get your wife?
If you make them a priority, it is.
How do you think people do that anymore?
No. I think that's why the divorce rate is so high.
So this is why we're talking about how to, from a biblical perspective, especially, how do you keep and revive your marriage?
Reassuring each other that you love each other, words and actions. Oh, I love that.
I agree with that.
Hey, Tamala, hi. Hey, you guys.
So do you think people do that enough? Or are people so distracted with kids, with their career, with just themselves that they don't any longer do that?
You know what you just said about, is that sustainable for 10 or 15 years?
Yeah.
So Derek over here said, know who your partner is first of all. But he says, recognize that who they are today may not be who they are later on. So do you think that's some of it too, that they change?
Absolutely. Derek, that's a fantastic point. I think people evolve and change. Maturity, you get older, there's different needs, wants, and desires. And I think people are not keeping up with that.
Well, you know what I think? A lot of and I learned this from one of my girlfriends. She used to tell me all the time. She said, "Girl, you gotta keep
let's
it.
Make sure
you have to keep it even spicy." So, how many of us as women, we deal with the kids all day. We deal with this. I know I was guilty of this in work. Mm-hmm. And the first thing you do is you come home and you throw on a flannel pajamas.
I'm telling you right now. That's why we're talking about this today, because I think this is happening, and it's happening kind of.
I'm waking up now, and a lot of these young women, girl, it kicked in. It just kicked in, producer.
Good. Yeah.
And these young women, girl.
Hold on. Sometimes people are waiting on their spouse to make the first move. I can't.
Okay, well, that's the problem.
That's the problem. So.
Oh my God, it's together though.
So. Liz, is that Liz? I'm sorry, I don't know if that says Liz. Oh my glasses today, Lord. I think you're absolutely right. So here's the question: is it on you or is it on your?
It is.
Okay, so do you think people are taking ownership for what they need to do in the relationship, or are they just relying on what the other person should do?
I think they're relying on I think that's a lot of the problem is that we sit here and wait for our spouses. Let me tell you what I've learned in this season that God has me in is how I'm definitely going to do things a whole lot different.
So
whole lot different.
Okay. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother podcast, y'all. Okay, check this out. Okay, let's talk about your motive to love your spouse. Ooh, could you pin that, producer? Can you pin that? Your motive to love your spouse has to come from within, not external. Really, dude, is correct.
Self-love.
So, really, dude, let's go deeper with that. What do you think from I think you're a dude, right? From a male perspective, how do men continue to... I don't think men have accountability to each other. Like women, we always have somebody to talk to.
We always have.
Do you think men talk enough to each other to hold each other accountable?
In our community, I don't think so, because I think it's not, they don't talk about feelings as much because they don't want to be viewed as maybe weak or, you know what I mean? Or they really, a lot of them, they don't want to say, man, you henpecked, you this. Yeah. Doing and saying are two different things. Yes, they are.
You ain't lying. That's facts.
Oh my God. So Terry.
Okay, let's break this down, y'all. I'm gonna just go from the top here because this is great conversation. Yes, so we're always gonna talk about things from a biblical perspective. So, sometimes you may not agree, but this is what we're coming from. And to set the tone of this, we talked about this in previous podcasts. Marriage is a covenant,
not a contract.
Can you explain to everybody what that means from...
So, let me tell you guys, before I got to this stage, I was of the mind, hey, if it don't work for me, and I had an aunt that told me that too, it's a contract. If just like any contract, if you don't like the terms, you get out of it. Them days are behind me. No, it's a covenant. It's God, your spouse, and you.
The threefold cord that should never ever be broken. Somebody asked if we're married.
No.
Between us, we've been married a few times. So it is very important that we get the next time that we get it right. So that's why this topic is mainstream for us, because we don't want to make some of the mistakes that we've made in the past, and we don't want to go forward not having clarity and understanding as to what marriage is and how it should be.
Exactly. And Maritza made a very good point. She says, she's Latino, she said in our community as well, because it's the macho man mentality. It is true. And if you go back, but I will say in the Latino community, I noticed that there's more of a family unit that exists there than in the African American homes. That I will say.
Okay, so what you're saying is in the Latino community, they value marriage more?
They seem to value it. I think it's the family aspect of it. I noticed because we... Man stand up. They stand alone. I married a woman who changed as soon as she said I do. The problem isn't one sided. Oh, Burnell, it's so true. And that's an issue that
how long can I ask how long y'all were dating? Because I would be very interested to hear that too. Do you think that you married the representative and you did that very quickly? Because that's a great...
But you know what? I'm going to tell you this. Yeah. I think it goes deeper than that. I don't think you actually know a person until you're under the same
has to be in
roof.
The mix.
I'm serious. You don't know a person until you are under the same roof. I'm serious.
So what does that mean, Tina? Are you saying that marriages cannot... this is so good. Are you saying... What are you saying? No. What are you saying?
Y'all, shacking is wrong. Shacking is wrong.
Because I know you're not about to say it's right.
If loving you is wrong,
This is so good. Are you an advocate of living with someone before you get married?
I think so.
How can you tell you biblically She ain't talking biblical, y'all.
I
don't know what just happened. She flipped the script on me.
Hold on. I'm correcting. Y'all ain't got to stay in the same room. You can abstain.
No.
You ain't got to stay.
No. Wait a minute now.
Really, dude? Hold on.
Really, dude. Each needs to try to outlove the... Who are you? Outlove each other. Men
really do. Facts. Yes. Bars. Yes. Oh, yes. I love that. Wife is Christ. Men love you. That's the problem. Okay, listen to this. I've been really studying in my word.
How can you? Whoa! So, how can you just say that and you just advocated living together? I'm so appalled right now.
It's no different than having a male roommate.
But yes, it is.
Don't say no.
We are not on the same page.
Hold on. Hear me out, sis. Hear me out.
We not.
You don't have to have sex and be in the same room. So, okay, producer.
I disagree. I do not.
You don't.
That is, in my opinion, you're
Am
cheating.
I wrong?
Yes, you are. You're completely wrong.
Dang.
You are completely wrong.
If I'm wrong, y'all forgive me.
Oh Lord, don't let that lightning bolt hit us.
Why you gonna jump back? We're in this together.
No, we're not.
We're in this together. We're gonna this ship is going down together.
I disagree. I do not think you have to live, or you should live with, because you know how I feel about abstinence. So I definitely do not.
I'm doing abstinence too. And I think you could be in the same roof and be... What's the difference in if you have a male roommate? Chime in, y'all. If I'm wrong, y'all tell me if I'm wrong.
I do not think the deciding factor on if your marriage will be sustainable is if you live together first. I do not believe that. I believe it takes two people committed to the common goal and purpose, being united in a covenant with God. That's what's going to help sustain a marriage, not because you lived together before.
Who's that? Doctor, you said nope.
Nope.
Why would you say nope?
Nope to her, I'm sure, because I know.
Okay. Tony said it would be challenging to live with your future spouse. Okay. Derek said not so much as shaking, but not getting married quickly, allowing yourself access to each other's lives gives you exposure to who that person is and make an educated decision on your future mate. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Because but you don't have to live together to do that.
He says that's why dating is collecting data. Oh, but if I had to probably live maybe 2 weeks or so with some of the people I dated, I never would have married. I know one of my husbands. I would have married him. If I'd have stayed in the room.
You think 2 weeks would have given you that?
Probably 2 months, but I wouldn't have married him.
I'm going to disagree with what she said. I do not believe you have to be shack up with someone before you get married in order to see if that's going to be a viable marriage. I do not.
Ooh, shack is whack. Y'all know when you said that. Crack is whack. So shack is whack.
It is whack. So y'all chime in. I do not. That's not my belief.
Y'all just put a light on my spirit this morning. Y'all are so good seeing this. Thank you, Shaq.
Well, we appreciate you, but we in disagreement on this one. But because how can you cut out of one side of your mouth say, "Hey, it's a covenant," and
let me go repent. Let me go repent.
You need to. Shaq, what you got? Y'all just put yes. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Craig, thank you for joining. If you guys are married, if you guys are single, I would love to speak to. Could someone chime in if you've been married for 5, 10, 15, 20 years? What are things that you do to keep that marriage number one in your life?
Marriage is a commitment to each other as well as to the Lord.
Oh, money.
Shacking only. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
How you do that?
Shacking only illuminates the physical. Thank you, Dr. Tommy.
Thank you, Doctor, because I don't know where she didn't tell me this off screen.
Okay, fine. I'm wrong.
I disagree.
That's how wrong.
I agree with Dr. Tommy.
Sorry, that's how what? Okay, money. I can't do. How's roll and been married 30.
So hold on.
That's awesome.
So hold on.
See, okay. Are there any people on here that live with their significant other before they met? Okay, y'all, don't listen to me. Listen, okay. You know what happened?
She is not a trained therapist at all. Neither am I. These are just our opinions on TikTok.
So let me tell you this. I'm
gonna say this.
Okay, all right. I've been condemned.
Thank you, John, for being married for 15 years. Can you help? Because
Steven, 20 years.
Oh my, this is amazing. Thank you for the rose too. This is encouraging, but what we need you to talk about is how that was sustainable.
How did you do it?
And have you ever been close to the divorce?
Mighty
Mitch. I did not, and been married 37 years and counting. I would have never lived with your spouse.
Listen, I'm trying to beat the rest of it.
Touching things which you should not.
Look, listen, I told y'all. Oh.
Thank you for saying that, because I don't know where she got that from. Dr. Tommy, let's see. He and his wife were married for 27 years before she passed.
Oh, so
we never
sorry.
shared what?
Same house until marriage.
We are deeply sorry for your loss.
Oh, so sorry. I've been there, though.
But thank you so much for sharing your heart and sharing that with us. And I agree. I don't think that's why you're... I mean, from what she said...
Stop pointing at me.
But that was you that said it, not me.
Yeah, it was. Okay, I was wrong.
Uh-oh. You've been shacking up for 22... Wait a minute. No.
Why? Oh, that's my peeps.
Why?
Hey,
Is that the one that's shacking up? Why have you been shacking up for 22 years and not committed to marriage? Could you please put in the comments? I would love to hear why.
I can answer that.
Why?
Because the woman is allowing it. A person will only do what
is that a male or a female?
I can't tell.
Sure, we're not sure if you're a male or a female.
Okay, so I stopped because I saw
who you want to shack up with? I guess you're talking about Tina because no.
What is that?
Shaq said they want to shack up with you.
No, I can't do that. Listen, I don't subscribe to that.
Thank you for the rose.
Hold on, I gotta get to all these people. We got all these cameras. I don't subscribe to that, Shaq.
I do.
It's probably her.
It won't be me because I do not shack up.
No, I'm not shacking up.
But you said you would.
I said.
Okay, Miss Gina, I stopped because I saw you two beautiful ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're always going to have whatever we talk about. A biblical perspective in it, and that's why we're talking about marriages today, because I believe they're sacred. I believe it's a covenant.
It is.
I believe that it's something that is worth salvaging,
and we need more of it. And this is the thing. So I want to put this disclaimer out here. Listen, there are no women were harmed in this marriage. First of all, listen, I'm gonna put that out there. But no, shacking is wrong. Shirley Cummings, that's my mom, y'all. She watching. I'm not shacking, Mama. I don't believe in it.
Miss Cummings, you better get your daughter.
I gotta go over here and talk to Steve. When he
I
said,
tell
I want to do this. We got 2 comments over there. Awesome.
Okay.
So Steve said 20 years how they were able to do it. They learned how to talk to each other. That's
good.
key.
That's
and
good.
Derek said shacking would allow access before that person has earned their place beside you. Ooh,
I love
Giving up your space is the last point of submission between a man and a woman.
Ooh, that's good.
That's good.
Did y'all hear that? He said marriage is the last point where you...
Yeah, where you give up. It's the last part of submission, the last point.
Where you give...
have Patrick... wow, I never thought about it.
Good morning, Cleo. Thank you for joining us today. We are talking about revival in marriage, and whether you're married or not married, we want to talk about why and how you can sustain long-term marriages. Because...
Pin that.
Pin which one?
He said, read what the Bible can teach us. That is... And I'm putting that on my list. Is that a book?
Oh, let's talk about the woman of God. The woman of, I'm not sure she's the woman of God. But
here we go.
They've been, hubby and her, I think about renewing their vows after 20 years.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome.
Can you let us know, in 20 years, did you ever contemplate divorce? And if you did, how you made it through? Because I think a lot of people do not have the stick-to-itiveness back to what the covenant...
Hold on, stop. Say that word again.
Stick-to-itiveness.
I like that. Stick-to-itiveness.
The stick-to-itiveness and the commitment to stay in something even when it gets rocky.
You know why?
Why?
Because it's easy.
It's easier.
And not only that, I'm going to go so far as to say this. Some women need to stop giving men easy access to them. This is the problem.
If you live with him, he
Girl, you drop that.
You said it.
That's in the past. We don't do the past.
The past was 2 minutes ago. Focus.
That's the past. I'm focused. That's in the past.
Okay.
So listen, what I mean by that is this. If you see a man that you know is married, okay? Because women are making it too easy for these jokers to step outside of their homes. We as women need to put them jokers back in their place, which is right back there in their marital bed.
Come on now.
Okay? That's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm done. I'm off my
Choice says, I come from a household of married couples. After my dad passed, mom never married again. That's very interesting. We're so sorry for your father, the loss of your father. But would you have wanted your mother to be able to have love again?
Me? I did.
I mean, because, and do you think there's only one love of your life?
No. I disagree because I was married to my high school sweetheart and I lost him. He passed away at 38. I don't believe that. And all my girlfriends...
You don't believe what?
I don't believe that you only get one shot. When God made one, he made two. That's not true. Because you have to remember.
Thank you so much. We didn't even know what that was.
No, we don't.
Thank you so much for the gifts. We appreciate you. Thank you.
But it's a matter of love is a choice. So you have, that's why I say no, I don't believe in that. You choose. Like Steven said over here, you got to learn how to have the hard conversations. That's how you stay together.
Yeah. Do you think people are transparent with one another?
Not to a certain degree, I don't think they are. Because I had to tell my friend, he is very blunt and says everything that comes to his mind. Mm-hmm. But my mom taught me a long time ago, everything that you think doesn't have to be said. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense, you guys? You don't have to.
In a marriage, whoa. If this is my best friend and I can tell them anything, should I be that blunt? Why can't I be?
Because I think you need to take into consideration your spouse's or your significant other's feelings.
Okay, we're gonna give Latay. I'm so sorry that went. Thank you so much. This is my office actually, but thank you. We lost one of them. I was thinking about divorce, but God reminded me. He gave her. Oh, this is so good. Gave me her and allowed it to work for 31 years. Hallelujah.
You see how he did that? He said he was thinking about it,
but God,
he didn't act on it. But that prayer and put God at the center, put it at the top.
This is what I think happens, Tina. A lot of people, men and women, get disconnected from God. And therefore that gentleman heard from God and the God redirected him. But if you don't have any connectivity to Christ, the Holy Spirit can't be the moderator for you. And you're going to go seek your own happiness or whatever you think you're missing because you don't have that moderator anymore. Yeah. Thank you, Nasty Dog.
What
his name is Nasty Dog. Nasty Dog 1 for sharing that.
There you go.
And
somebody said trust is broken, they won't be transparent, and that's true too.
That's very agreeable.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Exactly. Ooh. She captivated. Exactly.
This is good.
And that is so true. Because I used to tell my employees that people will take the news that their dog died if you deliver it the right way. The right way. Mm-hmm.
We
delivery
agree
is everything.
What's
exactly,
everything?
Stephen. What? He says delivery is everything.
So let's talk about this. So those people that have sustained their marriage, do you think you guys got in a rhythm and understanding of communication and how to communicate with one another and how to receive what was being said? Do you think that's part of the...
I think even learning to communicate is... I think that's even how you revitalize your marriage. Because how many times, I knew this, I've had in-laws, and I was like, oh my God, they've been married 40 years. Yeah. But y'all, the dad sleeps in one room and the mom was sleeping in another.
I don't like that.
I didn't understand. I'm like, y'all not married, y'all are roommates. They were shacking. So you see, I'm telling you.
I think one thing that people forget is that it's a covenant, it's a vow. A covenant is between you, God, and your spouse. Mm-hmm. It's in your vows are like I promise to do this, but they don't remember it that way, and then they lost the reason why they originally fell in love with their spouse.
But let me tell you why.
Why?
I'm noticing even with some of my guy friends, I hear them always talking about how their wives are out of line. Hey, bestie.
Thank you, Keith, for joining in. We're in Texas. We appreciate you joining in as well. Thank you.
So this is the thing.
Yeah.
God created man. That means he formed him out of nothing.
Correct. Out of the dust.
But he made woman from man.
The rib.
Yes. So there's a difference and there's power in that. All right, sisters, don't y'all come for me. But that really means that in order to, in my opinion, I think there would be more harmony in the house if we truly let the men lead.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's go deeper because we've been married a few times and we've been divorced a few times. And we talk about often how we want a man to step into position, have no problem with it. If a man is submitting to God, it's very easy, it's much easier to submit to that authority because his headship is with God. So why do you think some marriages fail? Do you think that it's because the women do not allow the man to be the man? Is that what you're saying?
I think a lot
Break that down, please.
Okay, I think that a lot of times, and I'm speaking from being a sister's perspective, and from me personally, I know how I was.
Okay, how were you?
Which was very headstrong, very focused and driven on my career.
Okay.
And my husband always was second.
Give them the example. This is, y'all get into our girlfriend talk. Give them the example of what your
my first husband.
No. Well, no. What y'all's therapist told you need to stop doing when you go to bed. Please,
working. Let me tell you, my ex-husband told our therapist when we were going to counseling. Yeah. He said, when I go in there, you may have told her to take the office from out of the bedroom, and she did. She moved it to another part of the house, but she still has the office there. Because when I come to bed, the office is in the bed. Because my laptop would be there, and I'd have files and documents and papers, and so I would be I have learned so much. Somebody gonna get a good benefit, honey.
I hope so. They're listening.
I have learned so much. And then my first husband, y'all like, what's that, number 2? That's right, number 2.
Keep them counting.
Right. But he said, and I was younger in college or fresh out of college. Mm-hmm. And what he said was, when we had our son, he said, you became a mother and you stopped being my wife.
Ouch.
And
ladies,
that's exactly
I need you to chime in here.
Exactly
men, chime in here.
What I did.
Is that true? Is that what has happened? Is that okay? Kobe. I'm going to marry my college sweetheart, but I have to remind her about her what?
Her tone.
You
know what?
That's good.
Good, but make sure when you do, you're doing it in a loving manner, way. So it's not like you are, criticizing her, because it's you know what I mean. It's the truth. I know. Because my guys are, well, who you talking to? I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. He's like, you raising your
really, dude. Okay. He own it. Let's see, really, dude. Here he says, love in the bedroom starts outside of the bedroom. First thing in the morning. Looks like you need to flirt with your spouse.
I love it.
Yes,
I produce. You do, yes.
Hand clap. Because
over here,
I think people after 10, 15, 20 years, they forget to do that.
So let me go over here because we've got some great comments here.
Nikki, that hurt, didn't it? She says, OMG, that's why my marriage failed. I became his mom.
Yeah, and it does. I was guilty of that. I'm telling you from experience. So hold on, I want to read these comments, sis, so give me a second.
Okay.
It says, Derek says, people are committing to the person instead of honoring their commitment to the covenant made between them and God. That's number 1. Oh, that's so true. And he says you can still be married and shacking. That's where the absence of the spark in the relationship is prevalent. I agree, because they're not connecting. And then over here, she captivating said, everyone goes through seasons in their lifetime. Sometimes people are not able to cope with the next season of a person's life instead of trying to learn the new season. If that makes sense.
So good. It makes a lot of sense.
But I think that everything is in ebbs and flows. I mean, it's
everything.
Life.
Absolutely.
It's adulting. So when you sit there and say, this is who I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah.
You just said, I'm going to go with you through all these seasons.
But that's the commitment. That's the commitment.
Yes. I follow a guy on TikTok. I think he's on TikTok, and you guys have probably seen him. He was his wife was a young, beautiful sister, and she had a stroke, 4 strokes. But now she looks nothing like herself, and she's in a wheelchair and can't talk.
Wow.
But this man still talks to her in such a loving tone. He's wheeling her around. It's just so beautiful to see. So, girl, I'm telling you.
He's honoring his covenant.
He's honoring his covenant and his vows. And I think that's what we're not doing. And I know I wasn't even doing it when I was doing in corporate America, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm having to learn. I have to check myself now.
Yes, all the time. See, it starts with an internal desire to want to do better. And I think some people always point the finger at the other person instead of pointing at themselves and saying, what do I need to do to make my situation better? And I think a lot of times people are waiting on the other person to make a move versus saying, hey, what do I have to do to make this better?
Let's be honest.
Yes.
It's easier for us to look external and find fault than internal.
Of course it is.
I was guilty of it, but I hear lately I've been doing a lot of self-assessing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, I wish I could go back and do some things because I would do it different. But all I can do is do better going forward.
So here, let's talk about this a little bit because a lot of people are experiencing, I'm telling you, I've talked to a lot of people here lately. They are experiencing some challenges and some issues. Let's get to Miss E. Sometimes it fails because we marry with the we marry with the flesh instead of waiting for God. Miss E.
Guilty. Because you know what?
Said that.
We didn't allow God to choose. We did.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah. Now over here,
Stoner baller, take money away. Take money away as a reason to pick your spouse.
Right. So here we go. Derek says, success can be a curse when you allow yourself to succumb to its influence. Women cannot allow themselves to let their accomplishments overrule their natural inclination of godly submission, but we have. I'm just going to keep it real.
Yeah.
At the same as men allowing their position to outweigh the submission to God, it doesn't work for men. So why would it work for women?
Go deep. You need to be a guest one day.
You need to
be on TikTok. Okay, listen to this. Latae, in almost 30 years, married since 21, I've learned while as a woman we desire love, men desire, I bet she's going to say respect. Oops.
That is it. It's respect.
Yes.
Okay. And they do.
Yeah, they do. So women, how do we ensure we are giving the respect to the man at all times? See, because I think a lot of times we were challenged with that. I know there's challenges, particularly if your man is wayward and he's not leading you down the right path. How can you be submissive to that?
Easy, Carl. I can't follow foolery. I mean, because listen, like I told my ex.
Ooh, who's the shea butter first?
You follow him as he follows Christ. If you follow in foolery, I can't follow you. I'm not going to follow you.
Shea butter, please. Shea butter first. Go deeper. Told my spouse he wasn't the authority over me, but he didn't ask why. He checked out years ago. Why did you tell him he wasn't the authority over you? See,
but he was.
But see what I'm saying? So why was he not stepping up in his role properly? It is deep. It makes you go, because in actuality, he is the authority over us. You know, because he is supposed to be.
Remember, God created him, and you were made from him.
Yes, Miss Carter, that was profound concerning choosing. I prayed and asked God, but then did what she wanted to do. Miss Carter, you ain't never lied. We pray, we act like we're patient, and then we go on and make a decision without involving God.
You know why?
Why? Lonely?
I'm gonna tell you exactly what I said to myself. I'm like, God, I know that's me talking to myself. He sure is fine.
Well, tell the truth.
You had to tell the truth.
Okay, Chick Fleming, thank you for your comment. One of those reasons might be your husband going through some personal what?
One of those seasons. That's true. But you know what? As his help, you're supposed to be right there with him. That's our assignment. You know what? This is where we make our first ministry is in our marriage. That's our first ministry. Not to our kids.
Yeah.
Not to our jobs.
You think a lot of women get it mixed up, don't we?
All the time, because I did.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Coach. Thank you for joining in. We really do. I think I missed a comment, Liz.
Hi, Joel Thomas.
One of those seasons.
That's what you said.
I already said that?
Okay. You two are too cute.
No. So had to live with the consequences. They're now divorced. He was wife number 4, and he's now on number 5.
Okay, so let me say this to you.
Yeah.
I had to assess myself, and I realized it's me. It can't always be the other person. I had to assess it was me. And so I've really gone into a lot of self-reflection, self-meditation, studying. So a lot of times, what you say about you point and the thumb is right back at you. So a lot of times we have to check ourselves and say, what is it that I'm doing wrong? And then sometimes it's not what we're doing wrong. It's the fact that we're picking the same people in different bodies.
Correct.
Different same spirits.
So let me guys, let's talk about this. What do you think is the biggest challenge in your marriage right now? So if you're married, just drop a comment. What are the biggest challenges that, and you could, it's for a friend. It doesn't have to be for you. Okay.
Okay. Wait. So we gotta understand. Coach. That's right. We gotta understand our assignment.
We do.
That's good. And I've been praying more and more. And I know you and I talk about this. When we have our late night. We talk about this all the time.
So if you don't understand your purpose and your assignment, and I think if a man doesn't understand his purpose and assignment, how can we as a help come together and work towards that purpose together?
Mr. Joel, he said, "Happy Friday, love you too." He said, "What's the topic today? Reviving your marriage, finding happiness after 10 plus years, a biblical perspective."
So that's the topic for today. And how do you revive your marriage? And the question on the table is, what do you think some of the biggest challenges are in a marriage right now? It can,